Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Akakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who to rule and teach well. Peace and blessings, salutations as always to the hopefully elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, diligently laboring in his truth and all righteousness and sincerity. So back once again with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And as you can see the title of this article right here, report 3% of U.S. high school students now identify as transformers. Now, this shouldn't be surprising because we live in an extremely liberal leftist society, especially the amount of time that the Democrats have been in power, which has been for the past, since Trump has been, 8 years, Obama. Well, for the past 16 years, it's mainly been the Democrats that have been in the power seat over America. Okay, we know that the Democrats, they are more liberal in their ideologies. Okay, pushing LGBTQ plus, pushing the transformer agenda, pushing the minor attracted persons agenda as well. So there's all kind of perversions that exist in America, and it's been put forth over the past 16 years. Right, so it should be no surprise to you that now the amount of transformers that are in high schools has drastically increased. Now, when I was in high school like 10 years ago, I don't remember hearing about transformers. Now, like there was like transvestites, but I don't think that's the same thing. But like we didn't have transformers in school back then. All right. Now, of course, you had sodomites. I mean, you've always had sodomites, but even at that point, like if you knew, you knew. It wasn't a thing like they was out there. They was loud and proud to be, sodomite. You know what I mean? And this was just 10 years ago. All right, so the amount of wickedness that now exists in the earth and is accepted has drastically increased within just 10 years. All right, so imagine another 10 years here in America, Babylon the Great. Imagine, pretty much everybody would have to be pretty much forced to get down with this agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't be able to speak against this in righteousness. And ultimately that's what they're setting up. They don't want a world in which people speak against these things, because ultimately, it's a thing where it hurts people's feelings, or you're not about equality, or you're not about loving people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's going on. You see, but in reality, man, the amount of perversion and immorality that exists in America, especially now, is at an all-time high. Rebellion against the Heavenly Father is at an all-time high. And once again, like if you come out and you speak on a public platform against these transformers, against sodomites, then you'll be publicly shamed. When just 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? People that were into those certain acts, there was a thing called being in the closet, okay, in which you knew better than to come out and openly proclaim that you were this way. Ultimately people had to find out, or if they knew, then they knew. But it wasn't a thing where they was loud and proud to be that. There was a stigma. And even to this day, it still is a stigma attached to it, but it's more widely accepted. All right. And I think now the number, I think about 20% of people just in the United States alone, identify as being a Mo or bisexual. Okay, which is pretty much the same thing. But 20% of the population, which, the number is definitely much higher than that. You know what I mean? It's definitely much higher, but let's just run with that 20%. So 80% of people would identify as being, heterosexual, and 20% of the population, they would be under that LGBTQ plus banner. All right. But the bottom line is 20% is a very large number. Okay. And whatever the real number is, I think if we knew the real number, it'd be even more shocking, you see. But it just goes to show you the day and time that we live in, and that ultimately the Lord, this is why the Lord is bringing judgment on this place, all right? Because there is no morality here. There is no fear of the Most High. Okay, people pretty much operate in their own lust, you see, which is ultimately going to lead to destruction. So reading on, over 3% of U.S. high school students now identify as transformers, and an additional 2% question their gender identity, a new survey has found. So not only do you have transformers, right, which are increasingly present in high schools now, and even middle schools too, because now the information that they're teaching the children, they're starting younger and younger. All right. They're even getting kids now in kindergarten teaching them about, sex education, as they call it, and other different things. You see what I'm saying? So they're trying to indoctrinate the youth so that when they, grow into adulthood, these certain death styles, won't be foreign to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it won't be a thing of, you know, the way you make a face and it's like, oh, like, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be, yeah, it is what it is. Maybe I don't swing that way, but that's what they do. That's the mentality now. Okay, just let people live, let them do what they want to do. Ultimately, because these people are wicked, man. All right, these people don't have any sort of righteous standard to them. All right, and it's ultimately because their own ways are wicked and perverse. All right, so they're not going to condemn a transformer, or they're not going to condemn a sodomite because they themselves, would be open to living that type of life, or they have, family or friends that, swing that way, or they themselves are involved in some sort of, perverse, death style. All right. So, this is why the Lord got to destroy this place, man, because the wickedness here is really just out of control. You see, the result of the 2023 Youth Risk Behavior Survey reveals that 1 in 20 high school students consider themselves gender queer. The survey found the trans and gender questioning teens face much higher rates of bullying, persistent sadness, and suicidal thoughts or behaviors than their peers. The 2023 Youth Risk Behavior Survey is the first time the annual survey asked teens whether they identify as transgender or are gender questioning. And I also saw another article that said that Gen Z is, quote, the gayest generation ever. Which again, this is proof that Esau Edom is the devil that the Bible speaks of, because Esau, he's the one that pushes these philosophies and tells people that it's okay, perform surgeries and give the youth hormones to aid in their confusion. Okay, Esau is the one that enables this, and if Esau wanted to, then he could pass laws against this type of thing. That's what Moab do. That's what Ishmael do. Okay, these Russia even. Okay, which Russians are Edomites, but they're not with that feminizing the man agenda. All right, because Russia understands that they need strong men to defend the nation, to go to war. So they're not going to feminize their men in that way, push those certain philosophies. But here in America, this is this really truly is the valley of the shadow of death. All right, because everything here, whether it be the food, the air, the soil, just the philosophies in general, they all lead to death. Okay, there's it shouldn't. And proof of that is that America has the highest cancer rate on earth. Okay, more than any other nation, man. All right, so pretty much if you come to America, then you come here to die. All right, point blank, period. So the fact that Gen Z is now the gayest generation. That's a sign of the times right there to let you know that we truly at the end, that the Most High is bringing judgment, and the final judgment is going to come to this place, man. This place going to be burnt up with fire, just like Sodom and Gomorrah was burnt up. All right, because really this place is worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, you have yeah, this place is much larger than Sodom and Gomorrah. There's many more people that are into these acts. All right, and the Lord is beholding everything, the good and the evil. Right, the survey included 20,103 public and private school students in grades 9 through 12 from all 50 U.S. states and the District of Columbia. Transformer students were more likely to report persistent sadness or hopelessness, about 72% compared with 50% normal girls and 26% of normal boys. Poor mental health, 65% compared to 38% of normal girls and 18% of normal boys. Thoughts of suicide, 53% compared with 24%. All right, so bottom line is people that identify as transformer or gender queer, they're more likely to be messed up in the head. And that's ultimately demons that are plaguing them, all right? Because they know, and this is the result of confiding in confusion, because your biological nature tells you that being this way is not profitable. Okay, this is why you're having suicidal thoughts. This is why you're losing sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? This is why you get up every day and you question yourself, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I feel this way? You see, but then the devil comes and he tells you, no, you don't have to question why you feel this way. You being a transformer, that's okay. That's your true self. That's the devil aiding in your own destruction, man. Okay? But the ways of this world lead to death, as the scriptures say. All right, so if you follow the ways of this world, you're going to be destroyed at the end of the day. And there's been countless reports coming out that people that went ahead and did the gender reassignment surgery turned transformers, that they ended up regretting it, okay? Because when they got their parts removed or, taking those hormones, the body rejects it, okay? So they got to keep on taking, medication and different things so that their body won't reject the, procedure that they had done. But by then it's already too late. You can't reverse. You can't, turn back, you know what I'm saying, and just live a normal life. All right. Pretty much then you're damaged beyond repair. You see? And that's what the devil wants. The devil wants to destroy you. And an easy way for him to destroy you is make you believe that you're something that you're not, okay? Or put it in your mind that this is what it's supposed to be, okay? That God didn't get it right, you know what I'm saying? But you can get it right. You can be the master of your own destiny. You see what I'm saying? That's the doctrine that Esau pushed, man. And that's a doctrine of devils, okay, that's destroying many people out here. There have also been attempts to explain the rise of transformerism in relation to the growth of mental illness more generally, like this 2014 study, which found that nearly 63% of sample patients requesting gender reassignment had, quote, at least one psychiatric comorbidity. A third of patients suffered depression, 20.5% suffered a specific phobia, and 15.7% suffered from adjustment disorder. All right, so these numbers here are very high. But once again, Esau, he still pushes this philosophy on people. Like, he's still pushing this thing as a normality, as if this is what it's supposed to be. Okay, men are supposed to be women. Women are supposed to be men. This is the society that we live in. Okay. And furthermore, through the spirit, these same things, being a transformer, being a cross dresser, being a sodomite, all these things were practiced in ancient cultures. Okay, and this is why, the Lord, outlined within the law that we were to abstain from the ways of the heathen. Okay, and these were some of the things that the heathen were into and still are into to this day. All right, but in the midst of this, Jake has taken on these philosophies Jake has, turned over to these death styles. Okay, so now their minds have been warped. Okay, they don't know what's real. They don't know what's true anymore because the ways of this world have perverted the truth. Okay, Esau, he's turned the truth into a lie. And see, this is the result. Okay, you being messed up in the, you being all messed up in the head. You don't know whether you coming or going. All right, this is the result of trusting in the devil. You see, it says a study this year was first to report a link between exposure to an endocrine disrupting chemical and transformerism. The study, published in the Journal of Xenobiotics, considers the effects of exposure to the chemical diethylstilbestrol, or DES, on the rate of transgenderism among French boys. The study's authors discovered that boys exposed to DES in utero were perhaps as much as 100 times more likely to become male to female transformers than the highest reported background rates across Europe. Reliable figures for the number of transgender people as a percentage of the population vary widely, so the actual increase in risk due to exposure to DAS could be even higher, and the numbers are always higher than what they put out there. All right, they always skew the numbers so it doesn't look as bad. You see what I'm saying? But the numbers are always higher because they have to omit some of that information, man. Because the true number, if people were to know, would really be shocking. Okay, that's why even that statistic of 20% of the population being moles or bi, the number is probably more like 40%, maybe even 50, 60. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, this place Babylon the Great is through, man. Okay, Babel means confusion, man. This is the land of great confusion. You see, and this is why fire is coming to this place, man, because this next generation is cooked. You know what I'm saying? Gen Z is already cooked. Just imagine that, if the society was to go on long enough, the next generation after that, we would live in a completely unrecognizable world. Okay, we're already in flood-like behavior now, but it'd be on another level then. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Most High got to cut the day short for the sake of the elect, because this is getting ridiculous. All right, 3% of high school students now identify as transformers, and of that number, they're all dealing with mental illness. Okay, that's not a coincidence. That's not something to take lightly. Which that should tell you that something ain't right. But of course, Esau, he's going to continue to enable these philosophies and things like that, push it on the people so that they can accept it. All right. But yeah, this is why the Lord is bringing judgment on this place. Let's get some scriptures. This is 1 Corinthians 14:33. For Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Yeah, so Yahweh Bashmiel Shai is not the author of confusion. In the beginning, Yahweh created what? Yahweh Bashmiel Shai created what? Male and female, he created he them. Okay? He didn't create man and man. He didn't create two females. You know what I'm saying? Male and female is across the board. Okay, insects, the beast of the field, mankind. You see what I'm saying? Even the trees. Okay, even the trees. Okay, you have male trees and you have female trees, right? The female tree is the tree that bears the fruit, and the male tree, and is the one that produce the pollen, produce the spores. All right, and this is why you have such an allergy problem in America, because they cut down all the damn trees. All right, they'll cut down all the female trees, all the ones that bear fruit, and they'll leave all the male trees, man. This is why when spring come around, like fall come around, now everybody start having crazy allergies, man, because all that pollen that's in the air. The pollen has nowhere to go. It's just floating around, you breathing it in, and it's messing up your respiratory system, man. So this devil, with his way of ruling, has put the whole earth out of course. Okay, this devil has truly destroyed the earth, man. All right, and he's destroyed the people as a result. So yeah, Yahweh Bashmel Shai is not the author of confusion. You see, the Lord knew what he was doing when he created male and female. And the purpose of that was to procreate, to be fruitful and multiply. Okay. You can't be fruitful and multiply with two men. You can't be fruitful and multiply with two women. It's not going to work. Okay. And you know, this world is so crazy that Esau now, and he's been doing this for years, but he's been, experimenting with getting men pregnant. Okay. Biological men now have uteruses, or you can surgically have a uterus inserted into you so that you can become pregnant. Okay. And they'll widen out your hips and stuff like that so you can pass the baby. It's just all manner of evil and madness going on, man. All right. And this is furthered from who? The man of sin. Okay. The man of sin is the one that is pushing this on the earth. Deuteronomy 22:5, because it's in our law, all right, that we're not supposed to be moles, all right? We're not supposed to lay down with beasts, We're not supposed to be cross-dressing, okay, which is all things that are normalized now, right? Deuteronomy 22:5, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. Right? So the scriptures are clear. It's outlined within the law. A woman is not supposed to put on garments that pertain to a man, neither shall a man put on garments that pertain to a woman. Okay, that's very cut, clear, and dry. And see, this is why they want to silence the prophets. This is why they want to silence the men of the Lord, because we don't give a damn about the standards of this world. Okay, we're going to keep it, thus saith Yahweh Shai, every single time. All right. And really, these precepts offend people. Okay, these precepts get people riled up in the spirit because it goes against their wickedness. Okay, whenever somebody speaks against the wickedness that goes on in this world, they have a problem with it because their hearts are inclined towards evil. Okay, as it is written, men love darkness rather than light. You see, so when we come with the light and try to show you, hey, brother, you ain't supposed to be doing that. Hey, sister, you ain't supposed to be behaving that way. Oh, now, we're just the most wicked men in the world. We're haters and we're this and we're that. Okay, but you see, we're really trying to get you to see the light, wake you up so that you don't have to be destroyed. All right, but because the end result of you living the life that you want to live in wickedness is going to be thermonuclear fire. Okay, you're going to be destroyed by the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, man. Point blank, period. All right, so hey, you can do what you want to do. You don't have to believe what we say. We just telling you, okay, whether you hear or forbear, you can do what you want to do, man. But hey, when that judgment comes, that's going to be on you. You see, you're going to have to deal with that. All right, you're going to have to stand before Yahweh Bashmiel Shai and give account for the things that you knew was right, but you decided to do wickedly, right? You're going to have to answer for that, man. You see, you're not going to receive mercy. You see? So, yeah, all this, transformerism, men looking like women, putting on women's garments and putting on eyelashes and lipstick and putting weave in their head and all this. Like, all this is confusion and madness. See, but, again, we live in Babylon the Great. Okay, this is the land of great confusion. Isaiah 24:10. The city of confusion is broken down. All right, yeah. And the Lord is breaking this place down in every facet. Okay, financially, the jobs are going. You see what I'm saying? People's minds are going. You know what I'm saying? Murder is at an all-time high. Suicide rate. You see what I'm saying? Buildings, infrastructure is literally collapsing. You see what I'm saying? So the Lord is breaking this place down in every way, man. All right. This is the city of confusion, Babylon the Great. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. You see, and this place, Babylon the Great, this is going to be a memorial of what it is to live wickedly. Okay, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. And you can look at Sodom and Gomorrah to this very day. Once the Lord destroyed that place, and Sodom and Gomorrah in the ancient world was a very fertile land. Okay, there was a lot going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. Now when you look over there, it's nothing but desolation. It's nothing but rocks. Nothing grows there. Nothing lives there. All right, because that's a testament. That's an example of the Lord bringing judgment unto the ungodly. Guess what? America is going to be the same way, man. After the Lord done with this place, it ain't going to be nothing but, unclean beasts dwelling here. You know what I'm saying? And this land is going to be completely desolate, man, just like Sodom and Gomorrah was. You see what I'm saying? So these people is going to get what's coming to them, man. Let's go to this article as well. Record high, 50% of Americans rate U.S. moral values as poor. Now, this is a direct indication that a society is on the way out. Okay, when you have morals at an all-time low, that's how you know that a society is pretty much cooked. Because when you consider even the morals of America 50 years ago, we don't even have to go that far back, but just 50 years ago, right? The morals of America were of a much higher standard than what you see today. Not saying that there wasn't no wickedness going on, but in general, people held more traditional values 50 years ago, right? And, coincidentally, around 50 years ago, that was the time when America really started to decline rapidly. Okay. So, low moral values is a direct correlation between the fall of a nation. All right. Now you have a record high 50% of Americans rate the morals in America as poor. So this place is cooked. This place is done. You see what I'm saying? There is no coming back. Like you can't reverse people's mindset, because ultimately the devil has programmed these people to be in this low moralistic mindset. Okay. And it's only going to get worse. Okay. It is only getting worse. You see, 50%, 50% say state of moral values is poor. 30% only fair. 78% think moral values in the U.S. are getting worse. Consideration of others cited as top problem with state of moral values. Yeah. And that goes into, where it says, it was just on my mind. Oh, man. Yeah. The love of many shall wax cold, in the last days, lack of consideration for others. You see, people just don't give a damn no more. Everybody's narcissistic. Everybody's all about themselves. Nobody really wants to help anybody. Nothing is really genuine like that. You know what I'm saying? People are only out for their own belly. They're only out for what they can gain out of a situation. You see? Washington, D.C., a record high 50% of Americans rate the overall state of moral values in the U.S. as poor. And another 37% say it is only fair. Just 1% think the state of moral values is excellent, and 12% good. Although negative views of the nation's moral values has been the norm throughout Gallup's 20-year trend, the current poor rating is the highest on record by 1 percentage point, and that's unprecedented. See, morality in America has never been this low. You see, people are more, godless than ever. More people are now into witchcraft than ever. More people are now into self-worship than ever. So this indeed is a fallen society, which, America was never an upright, righteous society, because this place was founded upon blood. But the point is, there was a time when you didn't have women walking down the street with their cheeks showing, man. Okay, you didn't have women walking down the street at one point in time with their, chest all out in the open. Okay, with long ass eyelashes on. There was a time in America where that wasn't the norm, but now it is. All right, that's people don't even bat an eye at that. Like if you was to do that, 50, 60 years ago, people, people would have been looking at you like you had two heads. But now the moral standard here is completely gone. Okay, people just pretty much live as lewd and as wickedly as they want to live, man. All right, which once again shows you that this place don't have that much long left. These findings from Gallup's May 2022 values and beliefs poll are generally in line with perception since 2017, except for a slight improvement in views in 2020 when Donald Trump was running for re-election. On average, since 2002, 43% of U.S. adults have rated moral values in the U.S. as poor. So, hold on. So, you see that? So, this thing has been going on for a long time. It says since 2002, 43% of U.S. adults have rated moral values in the U.S. as poor, 38% as fair, and 18% as excellent or good. Okay? So 10, 20 years ago, okay? Going back 50, 60, like the moral values of America have been on a rapid decline. You see, and now we're at the end, man. So, morality is at an all-time low. Okay, people don't fear the Most High in this land, man. This is why you have such a drastic increase of perverse behavior. You see what I'm saying? There's no fear. There's no fear of judgment. People just do what they want. All right. And there's no consequence, man, because Esau don't punish these people for their wickedness. All right. There was a point in time where witches, they was burned at the stake. There was a time where moles, they were publicly shamed. Okay. There was a time when moles were actually put to death, man. You don't got that going on no more because why? Esau, he wants a society that is in complete rebellion against Yahweh Basham Shai. See, Esau has America this way because he really wants to piss off the Most High. All right. And he succeeded in that with flying colors, man. This man's the absolute devil. You see? Yeah, so it goes into more statistics. We don't really got to get into it. But yeah, outlook for state of moral values is equally bleak. Babylon the Great is done. This place is done, man, completely. This is why nations, the other nations, look down on America. Like, this place is really a joke. You know what I mean? Like, no other. This is why these nations are about to bring war to the shores of America, man, because they want to get you sodomites out of here. All right, and the same perverse lifestyles that or death style, should I say, that America promotes, they're pushing this on other nations. Okay, now you have men in South Korea, turned out sodomites. Okay, moles, man. Japan, same thing. All these nations that are allied with the West, they push that propaganda and it turns their own people out, man. And there was a remote village in Brazil, right, where they didn't have no contact with the outside world. You know what I mean? Like, they were pretty much isolated from everybody else. And some Edomites went over there and gave them the internet. And guess what happened to the men in that village? They all got lazy. They all got addicted to corn. Okay, pornography. You know what I'm saying? Production in that village went to an all-time low. You see, morality decreased. So when the devil comes around, man, death ensues, death follows. Okay, and that was crazy. That was a prime example. Before Esau showed up, you had strong men, you had masculine men. After that, the men start getting weak and effeminate because they addicted to pornography, man. All right, so listen, this is why the Edomite got to go, man. We need new rulership on this earth so that life can flourish. You see? Even now, more men, can't even have children, can't even impregnate a woman because they all, juiced up. You know what I'm saying? Which that directly affects your seed. Revelation chapter 11. And let's see here. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. All right. So in this verse here, all right, where it says their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. That great city is America, Babylon the Great, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Sodom, of course, because, of all the, high sodomite activity that goes on here. Okay, at least 20% of the whole population is into, being a sodomite. All right, and in Egypt as well, because this is the place where, of course, we were, or we are in bondage. Okay, we're still in the land of our captivity. All right, so this place, America, man, the Lord got a big X marked on this place. This place about to be burned up. All right, they also crucified Yahweh Shai here, man. They pushed that Cesare Borgia image, they pushed, all the false doctrine about the Messiah, about Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. Okay, so indeed our Lord has been crucified here, man. But listen, the Lord is on his way to correct all of this wickedness and perverse behavior that's been going on, right? And we can close out here, and I can probably start up Romans chapter 1, and you know what? Let's just get it. Let's just get straight to the point. Romans chapter 1 and verse 21, because that when they knew Yahweh, they glorified him not as God, Neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds, and four-footed beasts, and creeping things. Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to their uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. In the scripture, as it is written, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Okay. So when people feel like, oh, I was born a biological man, but I'm supposed to be a woman. That's your, desperately wicked heart deceiving you. Okay. You're not supposed to listen to that, man. Like, really, you're supposed to rebuke those thoughts. But you see, when you ain't got the spirit of Yahweh Shai working with you, you're going to be given over unto unclean spirits that will move you in that direction, right? Through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, right? Mutilating your flesh, man being with man, woman with woman, okay? Woman and men being with animals. You see, this is dishonoring your bodies between yourselves, okay? Verse 25, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie. And who did that? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, Esau told you, and he's teaching you currently to this day. He taught you that, oh, you can be gender fluid. Okay, you can feel like a woman one day. You can feel like a man. It doesn't matter. Whatever you feel like, just listen to your heart, right? Just let your heart guide you. Okay, this is the doctrine that Satan puts out there, man. All right, and people eat it up because they're followers, they're sheep. All right, the Lord is not dealing with these people, man. And these people don't seek Yahweh Shai. All right, because the ways of the Lord lead to righteousness and life, which these people cannot receive. Okay, but yeah, and worship and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause, Yahweh gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. And even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. Okay, and being a transformer is not convenient. It doesn't benefit you at all. All it does is pretty much bug you out and put you in a state of depression. All right, which then leads to suicide, which then leads to you taking yourself out. So at the end of the day, what good was all of that? Like, you was better off just being what you were born as and running with that. See, but we live in a confused world. People don't know, what's up and what's down. People don't know what's right and what's left. Everything has been skewed. Outside of the hopefully elect, man, everybody is cooked out here. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man. this 3% number right here, which it is higher than that, but for a conservative number, 3% is still pretty high. Okay, considering all the high schools in America, they found that 3% now identify as transformers. All right, and then like I said, man, like if this society was to go on for another 10 years, that number would more than quadruple. You know what I'm saying? Easily, man. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end right here. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash, called Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect, Kub Yasha Allah, and the Bible Ball. Shalom.